wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Let's get some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Good morning and happy Friday for the most part. But, there is some devastating news, as you guys mentioned. So first up on the front page, tragic news to report in New York. Officials are confirming 6 people have died after a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River in New York City. The victims have been identified as Agustin Escobar, president and CEO of the technology company Siemens in Spain, his wife, their 3 children, and the helicopter pilot. Now, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he is speaking out after the tragedy, and he also made the grim announcement. Let's take a listen to New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
At this time, all 6 victims have been removed from the water, and sadly, all 6 victims have been pronounced deceased. 3 adults and 3 children were on board a Bell 206 helicopter that had left from the downtown skyport just about 3 p.m. We're praying for the families and our gratitude to the rescuers and the courage that was displayed in their dedication.
And
So
this
sad.
is yes, absolutely. It's just devastating. This is something that is actually impacting New York and New Jersey because the bodies were pulled from the New Jersey side of the water. Now, Adams went on to say that the victims were a family visiting from Spain. They were on a tour, and witnesses say the chopper broke apart before it went down and overturned. I'm sure you guys have seen the video surfacing online.
No,
and
I haven't. And I don't know why the media, people on social media keep reposting that video. Why? I kept seeing the headline, the moments of the helicopter crashing into the water. Why I want to see that?
Yeah. So New York Governor Kathy Hochul said in a statement that she's joining all New Yorkers in praying for those who have lost their lives. President Trump also released a statement on social media regarding the crash, saying it was a terrible helicopter crash in the Hudson River. Looked like 6 people, the pilot, 2 adults, 3 children, are no longer with us. He said the footage of the accident is horrendous, and God bless the families and friends of the victims. He went on to say that Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy and his talented staff are on it, and announcements as to exactly what took place on how and how will be made shortly. So as the president mentioned, and of course you guys know that an investigation into the crash is ongoing, and there is the cause of that accident has not been released as of yet. So
I can't wait to know what the cause is. But definitely horrible situation. Praying for that family. I wouldn't wish something like that on my worst enemy, man. 3 young kids, parents, knowing there's nothing you can do in that moment as that helicopter is going down. If there's a heaven, I pray all of them walked in together, man.
Absolutely. They're trying to pass legislation now that will ban a lot of those tourist helicopters because they're saying that, maybe the airspace should only be for travel and commercial and not for those tourist things. But regardless, I did the tourist helicopter before. I took my kids on that same helicopter path and went right up to the George Washington Bridge by the Empire State. I did that before too, so it's very scary. Like Charlamagne said, condolences, and you wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Has that happened before? Has that?
I've never heard of a helicopter
like that one in particular.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
But it seems like we're seeing an influx of aviation accidents regardless of what's going on. So it's just sad to see. I don't think we can get used to that. You know what I mean? So.
I'm looking at it now. It says there's been no mention of any prior crashes involving this particular, what is it called, a Bell 206 L4 Long Ranger?
Yeah, that's the type of helicopter it is. Yeah, but they do those tours all day long. Like if you ever they all day long they do those tours nonstop. So it's very sad. All right, well that is front page news. Thank you, Morgan. We'll see you next hour.
All right.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Listen, what's up is this budget is still ongoing, okay? So the House and the Senate will continue hammering out details when it comes to President Trump's budget plan. The House narrowly passed a revised blueprint for the budget on Thursday morning. Now, afterwards, House Speaker Mike Johnson said the committees on both chambers, Republicans, Democrats, Senate, and the House would be working collaboratively over the next 2 weeks during their recess to find more savings. Let's take a listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson.
We have a responsibility to get our country back on a sound fiscal trajectory. The committees in the Senate and the House will be working in a collaborative fashion. We will now get the committees operating on all cylinders. They'll be working over the 2-week district work period that encompasses Passover and Easter.
And meanwhile, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democratic lawmakers will continue to oppose this budget blueprint. Let's take a listen to those comments from House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
House Democrats are going to aggressively push back every day, every week, every month until we bury this reckless Republican budget resolution in the ground.
So the House-approved plan would raise the debt limit, cut taxes, and increase spending on defense and immigration enforcement.
Hold on, is this the same thing that Chuck Schumer voted for a couple weeks ago?
Yes, we're still working on this budget.
So how are they going to oppose what they already voted for?
This is the Senate. The Senate voted and the House is now, both sides have to agree before it goes to the desk of Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
okay.
is government actually working, or trying to work, anyways.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought the Senate was I thought the House already voted for it, and I thought the Senate voted for it as well. I didn't know that the House was still opposing it.
Yeah, there's still some edits that need to be made to this budget, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. But switching gears to immigration, as it was mentioned in the budget, the Supreme Court has says that the Trump administration must facilitate the release of a Maryland man sent accidentally to prison in El Salvador. Now, in a ruling on Thursday, the court both granted and rejected a DOJ emergency request that contested Kilmar Abrego Garcia be returned. The decision means Garcia does not have to be immediately returned due to the judge imposed deadline expiring, but that the Trump administration has to be prepared to share what it can concerning the steps it has taken, along with further ones. Now, Abrego Garcia was deported by accident to an El Salvador prison on March 15th as part of the Trump administration's plan to send alleged members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua there. I also received a DM from the state's attorney of Prince George's County in where she says in a statement, in part, she applauds the Supreme Court's decision today that orders the Trump administration to bring Kilmar back home. He must be brought home expeditiously. Any further delays are illegal and unacceptable. People of goodwill who support the rule of law must stand together and oppose the Trump administration's blatantly unconstitutional and illegal actions. She goes on to say she stands with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, his family, and justice for all people whose constitutional rights have been violated. So,
I'm always surprised when the Supreme Court does the right thing because, I've said on numerous occasions the Supreme Court is no longer a legitimate institution, but when they get it right and don't bow down to Trump and the Trump administration, I got to give them credit.
Well, this thing is continuing and it's ongoing nonstop. So this comes at the same time as over 300 student visas have been revoked by the Trump administration as it cracks down on immigration. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said it's a privilege to go to school in the U.S., and he had pretty much a little bit of a message for those international students. Let's take a listen to Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
If you come to this country as a student, we expect you to go to class and study and get a degree. If you come here to vandalize a library, take over a campus and do all kinds of crazy things, we're going to get rid of these people.
So some international students have seen their visas taken away for allegedly supporting terrorist organizations. Others have seen theirs reportedly taken away for things like traffic violations. And of course, this comes as colleges watch immigration databases to see if students are still allowed to be in the U.S. Last month, Rubio said a couple hundred visas were revoked and more would be happening every day. So I know this stands to impact students. This is going to be quite the case-by-case situation. As I mentioned earlier, Maluach, that Duke student, he's South Sudan. Well, he is from Sudan, and the visas from all those of the Sudanese people have also been revoked. So we'll continue to watch what happens with some of these students, those who are athletes here and those who are just here to get an education. So
and that's the problem, right? On the face, it sounds right. Yes, you don't want nobody here that's committing crimes. You don't want nobody here that's supporting, terrorist organizations. Mm-hmm. But are they really going into these schools with a surgical knife and really getting those people out? Or are they just casting a wide net?
Seems like they're just casting a wide net.
Like everything else they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a wide net, but at the same time, there may be some knives in the net because, as you can see with the funding, the Trump administration has also been threatening funding for a lot of these schools. So the schools are going to do essentially what they can to make sure that they keep a coin, right? Mm-hmm. So if that means surgically going in and looking at these students and where these students come from, that might, again, it's going to be case by case based on school. It's going to be case by case based on the student. So, but I will try to keep you guys updated as much as I can in regards to that story. Now, switching gears, Democrat Senator Adam Schiff is calling for an insider trading investigation into the Trump administration. Now, the move comes after President Trump put a pause on tariffs. Now, Schiff points to a social media post made by the president saying, hey, y'all, it's a good day to buy Donald Trump Jr. or DJ. Anyway, it was his code basically for his media company. Let's take a listen to Democrat Senator Adam Schiff in regards to this situation.
The question is, who knew what the president was going to do? And did people around the president trade stock knowing the incredible gyration the market was about to go through? Just a few days ago, I held a hearing with people who had to quit the Justice Department, were fired at the Justice Department because they were observing corrupt activity that they would not participate in.
Yeah, so, and that, as I was trying to mention before, that's DJT. Donald Trump said it was a it's a great day to buy DJT, which stands for Donald J. Trump, and it's also the ticker symbol for his media company. Now, Schiff says he and other Democrats have sent a letter to the White House asking if anyone in or around the administration made any financial transactions, knowing the president was going to pause the tariffs. Now, Trump said the pause is a result of what he called yippee people and the bond market sell-off. So what do you guys think about that possible insider situation going on with Trump and his buddies, the billionaire buddies, or, you think the pause just happened because,
There's nothing they can do to Donald Trump. Do we forget that the Supreme Court granted Trump broad immunity for what they consider official acts? He'll just say that this was an official act. The guy's got presidential immunity. What you going to do to him?
But I always wonder with things like that, are they actually looking for a crime or are they just trying to attack Donald Trump? Like, are they actually fishing to see if somebody actually made money? Because they can see who made money and who pulled money out, how much money they made, and usually they can see if somebody made $10 million or $5 million, and they can actually see if it happened before then and go there. Now it just seems like they just doing anything to see who did it. Like,
well, let's be clear. If this is insider trading. I mean, if you tweet out, now was a good time to buy right before you pause the tariffs, that would be considered insider trading. But there's nothing you can do to Donald Trump. But if he got presidential immunity.
But if he posted that would be for the world to see. Insider trading is if he told his man or if somebody knew he was going to do it beforehand, and those are things that could be seen. Same thing with
no, but
when
it's
you
still illegal. You can't say publicly now is a good time to buy, and then you're the president and pause tariffs for 90 days.
Is that? I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
No, I don't know because he posted it. He posted it nationally. It's not like he posted it in his friends only chat.
He posted it for the world to see with the stock ticker on it. Envy.
Nah.
It had a stock ticker on there. Nah. What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness!
All right, DJT.
Guys.
He said now is a good time to buy. #DJT.
Jesus.
Yeah, well. All right, y'all. I'll continue to keep you guys updated as much as I can in regards to this. That's your front page news. Follow me on social. I'm Morgan Wood. You can follow me on social at Morgan Media, MorGynMedia. And for more news coverage, make sure you're following at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.